Welcome to the 8th annual 2021 Kitsap Great Give. I'm Gina Anstey and I'm the interim president and CEO of the Kitsap Community Foundation. In my time here, I have been incredibly impressed at the community resources in Kitsap County. Today, April 20th, we're in the 24-hour period of the Kitsap Great Give. It's time to make online donations to support our local nonprofits. Time for a quick review of how things work today. On the Kitsap Great Give website, you can review the profiles of over 350 nonprofits. We've made it easy for you to find the organizations. One of the things that I love about this event is that it's really fun and interactive. Not only is there a bonus pool, there are prizes that are going to be awarded throughout the day. So here are some fast facts. The minimum gift is $10, but there is no maximum. Our sponsors help boost the dollars. Organizations who receive $10,000 or more will receive a portion of the bonus pool. And you can donate to as many participating organizations as you would like. Thank you for supporting your community through the Kitsap Great Give.
is Vicki Jokel from Kitsap Animal Rescue and Education. Thank you, Vicki, for doing the video. I would like to ask you 3 questions. The first question is, what have you learned and how has your nonprofit adapted through the pandemic?
Well, during the pandemic, the adoption of pets has increased because folks are staying home more and having more time to train their dogs. While being able to offer group classes, we haven't been able to do that, and with increased demand, we rose to the challenge of helping our community by offering private, socially distanced training, primarily outdoors and online. We had to learn new technology to provide virtual assistance.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cody Russell, Executive Director of Kitsap Strong. What have we learned during this pandemic? Think of your favorite sports team, the athletes, the coaches, the trainers, the support staff, and the passionate fans who root them on. When we use the term Kitsap Strong, it refers to more than 115 organizations on the field, learning and growing, collaborating to achieve success. It also refers to the 4 assistant coaches that make up the backbone team, providing support and encouragement to all of the partner organizations. And it refers to you, the fans, rooting for our shared success, because success for Kitsap Strong means every member of our community has the relationships, resources, and core life skills to be able to flourish. COVID shows us all just how critical our team is. We all need a team of support. People to pick us up when we stumble, dust us off, root for us to keep on going. Teammates who can help us achieve what none of us can do alone. We are grateful to have developed a strong team prior to COVID, so we could continue to collaborate and reach for success in the face of extreme adversity.
I'm Joe, CEO for Kitsap Mental Health Services. One of the things that I've learned through this pandemic is that despite the many challenges that faced us, our staff demonstrated a phenomenal capability for flexibility and adaptability. Within the course of less than a week, we converted practically all of our outpatient services and many of our inpatient services to telehealth capacity. That in itself is tremendous.
I launched the Power of 100 Girls during COVID-19, and that has definitely proven to be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, I thought that many girls and young women and nonprofits would especially be in need of support right now. But I also learned that because of hardships and distractions, they may not be motivated to join an initiative, or they might struggle to finance their $100 annual fee. And so this has challenged me to think about new ways to broaden our outreach, form important partnerships, and to get creative about different ways that members can raise their $100 annual fee or even offer in-kind options.
A symphony orchestra and chorale is by definition a social bunch. We regularly rehearse and perform in groups and for groups. For musicians, social interaction is our very way of life, and for many, also a means of support. This has now been taken away from us. However, much like the Beatles in the late 60s, we gave up live performance and have become expert studio musicians and technicians. From our homes, we have continued to create and provide wonderful performances for our community. I encourage everyone watching to go to the Bremerton Symphony website and enjoy everything from medieval music to recent compositions to musical stories for children. This pandemic has helped our orchestra modernize and enter a new digital age.
2020 was an unprecedented time in Meals on Wheels Kitsap's 48-year history. Our resolve to ensure the community's health and safety while continuing to provide nutritious meals and support to our seniors never wavered. We pivoted by responding and adapting our normally high-touch service model to safely address the vital lifeline services we provide, offering curbside meal pickup at selected community dining sites, delivering nourishing meals and safety checks to homebound seniors, and reducing social isolation through weekly telephone outreach calls.
We have learned with our residents that we've really had to shift and go from being a very hands-on organization to work remotely as much as possible. So we're doing a lot of texting with residents, we're doing a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and a lot of conferencing instead of meeting with people face to face. And that's been a major change for us. It also has meant a change for our residents to learn how to use some of that technology.
Over the last year, Kitsap Cancer Services, like many nonprofits, have had to learn to adapt and overcome during the pandemic. We've gone from in-person board meetings and fundraising to learning new tools like video conferencing and fundraising online. The changes have been challenging at times, and we've become more tech savvy, learning to navigate social media, changing our website, and creating new platforms to reach our community and beyond. Despite these challenges, we are grateful for opportunities like Kitsap Great Give and the community support we receive.
I think we have learned so much through the pandemic of the last year, not only about ourselves as individuals, but also as an organization. The members of Soroptimist International of Port Orchard have shown that we can adapt no matter what circumstances may come our way. Through partnerships, technology, and determination, Soroptimist has kept in focus our purpose and mission to improve the lives of women and girls. We keep moving forward with creative endeavors of providing needed resources in keeping their dreams alive. We are thankful for partnerships such as the Kitsap Great Give, who help make it possible to continue to assist women and girls in our community. Thank you.
As an all-volunteer organization dedicated to the preservation of live performing arts, we have learned that no matter how long we have to wait to get back on stage to entertain our audiences and to allow our local youth and adult performers the opportunity to experience the immense satisfaction of live theater, we will wait. Sometimes impatiently, but we will wait.
I am Joel Adamson, the General Director of Kitsap Homes of Compassion. We started this organization 3 years ago, and we started our first home in September of 2018. We've added about one new house almost every month, going from one house up to currently 14 houses. It's our goal to end chronic homelessness in Kitsap County by using shared homes. We lease single-family homes and apartments, and then we sublet them to 3, 4, or 5 individuals divided by age group, either single women or single men, in some cases young mothers or students. Our goal is to provide affordable housing but supportive housing, because people need more than just housing, they also need support. We also have a team of 40 to 50 volunteers now in all areas of house managers, volunteers that meet one-on-one with the residents for companionship, to be a friend to them, volunteers that do maintenance on the houses. We need all types of volunteers. They provide a weekly house meeting which help the residents of the home to get along and to do conflict resolution.
You come in and you pay one number for your rent, and that includes all your utilities and your cable and your internet. Everything that you would normally pay outside of your rent is included with Kitsap Homes of Compassion. It's affordable, and I'm on a fixed income, and that's important to me.
Thank you for your support for Kitsap Homes of Compassion as we end homelessness, chronically homeless, and those with physical and mental disabilities and other disabilities in Kitsap County.
So I believe that Kitsap Homes of Compassion really care about people.
I'm here to talk to you today about a new steering committee that I'm a part of. In partnership with the Kitsap Community Foundation and United Way of Kitsap County, they've launched a new Unity in the Community Fund, and this fund that I'm a part of is called Kitsap Racial Equity and Empowerment Fund.
With all that we've been through recently, we've seen global, national, and local impact of COVID-19. And boy, I must say, it's been a very, very stressful time for us, especially in areas of our community where racism, violence, and lack of resources exist. We've seen that problem. There's an ongoing need to address systemic inequities which disproportionately impact Black and other marginalized communities. Meanwhile, there's an urgent need to address how these inequities are amplified by COVID-19 with increased disproportionate adverse impacts on the Black community. Today, we are in a cycle where awareness of systemic racism and anti-Blackness and anti-racism is increasingly being acknowledged. So now is the time for a focus on racial equity.
In addition to assisting with the inequities caused and exacerbated by COVID-19 for communities of color, this fund is aimed at leadership or boards that are reflective and accountable to communities of color, in particular, the Black community. Let's actually use this fund, and this fund being able to work towards equity, understanding, and unity.
So who's eligible to apply for this money? You are. We're looking for folk like you in our community who are doing the work, the grassroots efforts, making a difference in the lives of all of the members in the community, and to improve the quality of our community and make Kitsap strong. And what does that look like? That looks like individuals and organizations and coalitions that need help in assisting the disruption of racial inequity.
How do you get involved? Are you interested in helping? There's more information available at our website about both of those things. Now is the time to get involved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Experimental Musicology 101. Many of you will know Paul McCartney's Helter Skelter. Some of you will know the finale of Bartók's Fourth String Quartet, a work which is really central to his entire output. But I wonder, what would happen if we put the two of these pieces together? 1, 2, 3, 4. Blisters on my fingers. Question number 2. When you look back over the past 12 months, what reflections do you have from your organization? The last 12 months have been most unusual in performing arts, and yet extremely gratifying as well. First of all, I have nothing but extreme praise and gratitude for the way our musicians, our staff, and our board of directors understood the tremendous changes that were needed and dove in to make them a possibility. With live concerts banned everywhere, we quickly formed small ensembles to record virtual performances for YouTube and Facebook. This had an unforeseen but wonderful result. Travel to a concert hall was not necessary, and anyone could now experience our performances at home via telephone, computer, or smart television. This allowed us to gain new audience members and followers around the country and around the world. We have already started to expand our donor base and gain much wider recognition and appreciation for our orchestra and chorale. We look forward to live concerts soon, but the last 12 months have taught us that the public expects the virtual concert hall to continue. Please help us make that a reality with your donation this evening. Thank you so much.
The It Takes a Village concept comes to mind when reflecting on our organization's resiliency over the past year. In addition to providing continued meal services to our existing clients, we increased the number of meals delivered to even more seniors by over 40%. We started a new telephone outreach program to help reduce social isolation experienced by many of our clients. And we enabled our most vulnerable seniors to remain nourished and safe in their homes during this public health crisis.
One of the reflections that comes to mind is really that COVID affects our health. It's also affected our emotional well-being because of the social isolation. Regardless of health and social isolation, the one thing that still has to happen is that you have to have a place to live. And that's what we do, is create shared housing. And so folks have been willing to do just about anything when it comes to working with the safety and health guidelines, as long as they have a roof over their head. And that's been significant.
When I reflect back over the last 12 months, I think about all of those people who lost their jobs and were financially impacted by this pandemic. But if you can imagine having cancer on top of that, and already having a compromised immune system during a pandemic, it's daunting. I am thankful to say, through some creative fundraising and with the generous community support, Kitsap Cancer Services was still able to provide over $50,000 in financial assistance to over 100 cancer patients in Kitsap County during this pandemic.
When we look back over the last 12 months, we've learned a lot. We're most proud of Kitsap Strong's team effort to further conversations and learning about equity in our community and the impact of trauma on people's ability to flourish. The collective experience of COVID helped illuminate the existing inequalities in our community, and our partner organizations dove into deep conversations and efforts to improve outcomes for the most impacted in our community. Kitsap Strong backbone staff facilitated conversations across the lifespan to help partner organizations from early learning and K-12 education through elder services identify the patterns they were observing while providing services to children, students, and elders, and explore creative solutions. Kitsap Strong partners pivoted, they adapted, exploring creative solutions to support families through the pandemic. Our funding partners, Kitsap Community Foundation and the United Way of Kitsap County, joined together to create the Unity and Community Fund and asked our backbone team to act as grant administrator, facilitating a community process to provide over $300,000 of COVID response funding. The goals of the funding were to provide families and individuals with positive memory-building experiences that focused on reducing stress and empowering relationships. The creativity of our community was on full display, and it was incredible. From a series of storytime events in parking lots of neighborhood churches, where families could safely gather in their cars, to youth-led community art projects and murals, and much, much more. Additionally, our backbone team, in partnership with Olympic Educational Service District 114, launched another Collaborative Learning Academy cohort, bringing together education leaders and administrators from 9 schools, early learning, and Olympic College to learn about trauma-informed education and how to center hope in the classroom.
My organization was just a vision in my mind 12 months ago. But in the past few months, I've realized that I couldn't create my board through my founding circle members. So I recruited an awesome advisory council that has been keeping me focused and adaptive. I've also relaxed my expectations and my sense of urgency and realized that the right members will take a little bit more time to come along. And so in the meantime, I've been forming partnerships with like-minded organizations and being interviewed for articles, and I'm looking forward to making new partnerships through Kitsap Great Give.
When I look back over this past year, there's one story that really sticks out, and it has to do when we do group therapy with kids. Initially, we do groups of kids in a room, and if one child is having difficulties, pretty much it'll spread throughout the whole group and the whole group will have difficulties. What we found with telehealth is that if one kid is having difficulty, they can actually self-manage by walking off screen to get themselves some time to get their act together, or they can actually mute themselves and come back and join the group. And what happens is that the group continues along and it doesn't disrupt the rest of the whole group. And in that way, we found that telehealth services actually had a great benefit for those who we serve.
The second question we have, when you look back over the last 12 months, what reflections do you have from your organizations and or clients?
We discovered ways that at the time seemed really difficult to learn, but in the long term will make our jobs run smoother and be more efficient. Our community came together to help each other in ways we couldn't have imagined. We are proud to have been a small part of that movement.
And this little puppy, she's a big puppy, is Sia, and she's one of our rescues from December, and she found her loving home with me.
Participating in the Kitsap Great Give will continue to help fund our Live Your Dream program, whereby a mother who is head of a household can continue to achieve her dreams by getting an education and ultimately achieve success for herself, her family, and live a better life. The Kitsap Great Give will also enable Soroptimist to award scholarships to young women graduating from high school that desire to achieve a higher education for themselves. Thank you for your support, however large or small, to our Soroptimist programs that truly help women and girls to rise above and accomplish their dreams.
Kitsap Great Give has been utilized for capital improvements at Bremerton Community Theater. We just completed a $120,000 roof replacement project. What's next? Upgrading our antiquated heating and air conditioning system that is over 40 years old. This will prevent patrons and actors from freezing in the auditorium, while folks in the lobby feel like they are basking in the hot sun.
The Kitsap Great Give is about hope. It's about hope that we can provide permanent supportive housing through the Pendleton Place for people with severe mental illness, chronic homelessness, addictions, and also healthcare problems. It's about hope for children with severe emotional disorders who can't function in a regular classroom, but we hope to expand with a new classroom to meet their needs. It's also about hope for children, families, and adults throughout our region through the expansion of our clinical excellence in our satellite offices throughout Kitsap County. The Great Give is about giving hope.
The mission of Soroptimist International of Port Orchard is to better the lives of women and girls through education and economic opportunity. Living through the pandemic this year has shown Soroptimists that the needs of women and girls is even greater than ever. More women who are head of household need access to higher education, and our senior high school girls will graduate on time and will need scholarships so they can continue their educational goals. Life has been hard for so many people this year, and the Kitsap Great Give gives our organization the funds to help many women and girls have the chance they need, leading to a better life for them and for their families. We thank all those who support Soroptimists and the women and girls we serve. Thank you.
The Great Give has really made a difference in our organization. Our residents share a home, and our program fees really cover the cost of that home and the utilities. Our program fees don't cover the cost of any of our administration, whether it's the work to go out and find homes and lease them, the work to manage the finances for the homes, the work to manage that the homes are safe and secure. Program fees don't cover any of that. So the Great Give has filled a massive, massive need in meeting those financial needs. So thank you for your support.
How does participating in the Great Give help us? Well, the Kitsap Strong team needs the support of you, our fans. All of our more than 115 partner organizations share a vision of a trauma-informed and equitable community. Our goal is to create the community conditions that enable every member of our community to flourish. Reaching our goals will not be easy. This work will take time. We will make mistakes. We will need our fans to keep cheering us on. We will need our fans to hold us accountable, to continue to offer support. Kitsap Strong partners are implementing powerful and subtle changes that are transforming the way people receive help and care in our community. From education to criminal justice and housing, our partners are making really powerful and important changes to become more trauma-informed and equitable. But these changes will not be easy. We'll need your continued support, but together, our team will succeed. Thank you.
100% of Kitsap Cancer Services fundraising goes back to its programs and supporting resources. The clients we serve are in need of financial, emotional, and physical resources while undergoing cancer treatment. Kitsap Great Give helps to maintain and grow these programs that help support clients receiving cancer care in Kitsap County. These programs include financial grants, oncology massage, emotional support, such as counseling, and holiday giving for families in need.
Because of our staff, volunteers, community partners, and generous donors, we were able to continue helping hundreds of vulnerable seniors remain safe, fight hunger and isolation, and so much more during COVID-19. But our work is not over, and there are still many seniors who need our help. Your gift through the Kitsap Great Give allows us to safely serve more meals to seniors through the pandemic and long into the future. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support.
I am here tonight on behalf of the Bremerton West Sound Symphony. My name is Alan Futterman, and I'm the music director and conductor of the orchestra. Let me talk about our work with students. Students who study music are always the same ones who are at the top of their class in all other subjects, and the students who succeed in whatever profession they choose. Recent research has shown that music is the only discipline that makes the connection between right brain and left brain and develops both. The point of all this is simple. When we support the Bremerton West Sound Symphony and all our musician teachers, we are supporting the education and training of the future professionals and leaders of our community. This is an extremely worthy and important investment that we all need to make.
Kitsap Great Give lets the community know that we are here and ready to give back. If we can raise enough through donations, that will allow us to offer Founders Circle memberships to girls who might not otherwise be able to afford their pledge, as well as cover some operational expenses, expand our outreach even more to find more Founders Circle members, and even be able to start taking applications for scholarship and grant recipients.
And the last question, how does participating in the Kitsap Great Give help your clients?
Due to the pandemic, many of our costs have gone up, including airline prices to fly animals. Veterinarians have limited availability, and we no longer receive our once per week free spay and neuters. Donations from Kitsap Great Give will go towards our incoming dogs' expenses and also to boost our newly launched grant program that enables low-income families access to medical treatment and training for their pet, ultimately allowing the loved pet to remain in the home, which is our mission.
Thank you.
Although we are considered a non-essential business, we remain committed to live theater arts, both for our volunteers and patrons. Bremerton Community Theater has canceled multiple shows this past season, but one cast has remained together for the past 12 months, rehearsing when allowed, and they are ready to welcome back an audience in June.
sein, dass sie Amen sein. Dein durch ewig bleiben, steht treu dir ihren froh. Nun muss dich Gott bewahren, in alle Tugend selbst wahren, ist doch nicht wiederkommen, ist doch nicht wiederkommen.
Welcome to the Admiral Theater in Bremerton, Washington, Kitsap County's premier live entertainment and events venue. The Admiral Theater presents world-class live entertainment, welcoming more than 50,000 patrons annually to over 100 diverse performances and community events. And for more than 23 years now, the Admiral has been at the heart of economic redevelopment and revitalization efforts benefiting Bremerton and Kitsap County. The Admiral Theater Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization responsible for operating and preserving this historic landmark and performing arts center. Our mission is to enrich our local community through the arts, cultural education, and entertainment. Your generous one-time or recurring donation will ensure this community treasure continues to thrive. The arts offers a feast for the senses, and Bremerton's Admiral Theater offers a magical arts experience, combining the charm and history of a 40s-era movie palace with state-of-the-art professional sound and lighting, succulent meals and sinful desserts prepared fresh on site, and friendly and attentive staff and volunteers. In addition to evening performances, the Admiral Theater Foundation also presents award-winning children's programming, providing 10,000 local school kids with subsidized and free show tickets, and providing local school districts with grants covering transportation costs. We also offer a 2-week musical theater summer camp, where local kids learn to act, dance, and sing, culminating in live public performances of well-known stage musicals. As the Admiral Theater approaches 80 years in near constant use as a community gathering place, it has required costly repairs and preventative maintenance. Thanks to the generosity of sponsors and donors like you, we have invested more than $10 million into this community-owned facility since 1990. The Admiral Theater continues to thrive thanks to a successful decades-long public-private partnership with the City of Bremerton, and incredible community support, including our board of directors, staff, volunteers, sponsors, and generous donors like you. Thank you in advance for your support of the Admiral Theater Foundation.
Raising Resilience is dedicated to helping Bainbridge families thrive. We're here to provide parents with the resources they need to help their children develop a sense of self-worth and resilience in a trying time. We bring the community together, creating meaningful connections by offering classes, panels, and workshops where parents can learn from experts and from each other. Connections Cafe is our virtual parent support program, where you can watch compelling speakers addressing a wide range of timely topics for parents seeking a better life for their kids. Visit our video library page at raisingresilience.org to find answers to your most pressing questions. On our website, you'll also discover helpful resources like the Parent Corner blog and events calendar. We're in this together, and we hope to see you soon, online and in person at future events.
The Kitsap Great Give would not be possible without the generous support of our event sponsors. Together, these sponsors have donated over $164,000. Please shower all of these sponsors with your appreciation, your thanks, and your business. I'm going to put on my glasses and make sure that I'm reading so I don't forget anybody. Our largest sponsor and the event's presenting partner is the United Way of Kitsap County. Kitsap County Community Foundation is extremely thankful for United Way's sponsorship, partnership, and dedication to improving our community. The event's lead sponsors are the A.Y. Petter Family Fund and Sparky's Fund at the Kitsap Community Foundation, EOS Ranch, and the Suquamish Foundation. We are thankful for their deep support of the Great Give in our community. The next level of sponsors include the Kitsap Credit Union, Orchard Foods, Port Madison Enterprises, author Susan Wiggs, and a gift in Ann Guthrie's memory. We thank these sponsors for making a substantial donation to the event and doing what they can to make the event as successful as possible. Counted as supporters of the Kitsap Great Give are the Averill Park Fund, Tim Ryan Construction. Finally, the following organizations sponsored prizes that are going to be given away during the event: Debbie McCumber, BNY Mellon Wealth Management, the Point Casino and Hotel, and the Kitsap Community Foundation Board of Directors. Without all of these supporters and prize sponsors, the Great Give would not achieve its goals. Without the major assistance of the event's media sponsors, the Great Give could not possibly succeed. We're deeply grateful to Sound Publishing Group of Papers, the Kitsap Sun, West Sound Magazine, Mattress Ranch, and Bremerton Kitsap Access Television. The Kitsap Community Foundation and the 350 and more nonprofits taking part of the Kitsap Great Give deeply appreciate these generous sponsors' support. Please shower them again with your thanks and your appreciation, as we do as well. Thank you.
The body fights a virus through immunity. Kitsap County fights and wins through community. When COVID-19 hit, the United Way of Kitsap County and the Kitsap Community Foundation joined together to create the Unity in the Community COVID-19 Response Fund to help our community partners continue to help the most affected. An important component of Kitsap County's battle to defend the health and economic well-being of our community is protecting the most vulnerable.
Kitsap Public Health District was concerned about COVID-19 even before it reached the United States. We decided to get a team together and work on our local response plans. COVID-19 is more challenging to deal with because it's a new virus. There's so much we have to learn about it. But we do know quite a bit. We know that COVID-19 is more easily spread than flu. We also know that COVID has the potential for severe health outcomes and for death as well.
So besides the health impacts of COVID-19, the pandemic has really affected the local businesses. It's affected them financially, the uncertainty, emotional, and the stressfulness that it places on a family and how they're going to pay their bills. It's really hurt.
An important component of Kitsap County's battle to defend the health and economic well-being of our community is protecting the most vulnerable.
The COVID pandemic has presented unique difficulties to the homeless population who already struggled with access, transportation, housing, finances.
And the risk factors that made COVID serious for people, we realized that those basically described the population that we served. People with respiratory issues, COPD, diabetes.
As the coronavirus multiplied across our state, adding new stress to our residents, leaders identified shelter and stability as a top priority in containing the spread. Kitsap County and the Kitsap Rescue Mission mobilized quickly to set up a 24/7 shelter at the Kitsap Sun Pavilion in Silverdale.
I have to give credit to Kirsten Jewell and the county for taking a very proactive response to all of this. When we're able to address the homeless challenges in one location, it benefits the community. People are not utilizing the ER, for instance. They're going to Peninsula Community Services here on site. They aren't sleeping in somebody's backyard, they're here. So we've really been able to provide stability, and we look at the whole person, not just their physical needs, but their spiritual needs as well, their relational needs. We look at them as capable people. So they aren't just the objects that we're serving, they are people that we are helping to bring into wholeness through relationship, through loving them, and through expecting them to show up and to be part of community.
The COVID-19 threats to health and economic stability only increase the odds of our neighbors losing access to vital health care. Peninsula Community Health Services is one way our community is proactively reaching out to meet the needs.
Some folks are homeless because they hurt themselves. Some are homeless because they fell into addiction, frequently due to prescriptions for legitimate pain. Frequently they lose their house and then things snowball from there. So their anxiety gets worse and their health gets worse. And so both their mind, body, and spirit kind of decline. And so when we can roll up with a bus and address so many of their concerns, whether it be anxiety, whether it be blood pressure or diabetes or back pain, whether it be chemical dependency or substance use addiction and such, they don't feel the need to overutilize 911 or emergency services, or if we can break the cycle of addiction or of the criminal enterprise that tends to go with substance use disorder, can be quite rewarding and beneficial to the community as a whole.
Food is the fuel that comforts, empowers, and sustains. Our community is fighting to assure food security in Kitsap County for folks in need. Food to support and encourage the emergency personnel and caregivers at the front line. Financial support for hard-hit local restaurants and caterers.
Full Circle Meals provides meals for those in need, and that's a broad population of homeless veterans, critical care workers here at the Retzel Veterans Home, homeless and low-income families throughout the county. We call it Full Circle because we're supporting both those in need and restaurants who have financial duress during this COVID crisis. But there's a third piece of this that's so encouraging and heartwarming, is that There's a large population of our business community, small business restaurant owners, who didn't even know about the populations that were in need here in Kitsap County. They've connected with them. We asked them to deliver personally so they know who they're providing meals for. And what we've seen out of that from our network of almost 35 restaurants is a commitment to make this part of their lives, not just during this time, but for the decades to come.
Through all these efforts, we are winning the battle through community. We are tackling big problems with powerful solutions. The alliances we are building now are strengthening our community for years to come.
I want to thank all the key players that were available and working with us during this COVID relief time, especially the Kitsap Community Foundation in Cole Medina. At the beginning of the pandemic, we started up the COVID Relief Fund, and together we've raised right around $300,000. And within the last 5 to 6 months, between the funds, Great Give, and the other community projects that we've participated in, we've put over $3 million back into Kitsap County.
Working with restaurants who've confessed that they were on the edge of financial destruction, and they've seen a lifeline come to them and they didn't know anybody cared.
Now more than ever, we can achieve more together.
Well, we're grateful for the United Way because they bring all of us together. Perfect name, the United Way.
Don't we love our community? Kitsap County is fighting and winning through community. Please support United Way of Kitsap County and join us in the fight.
The Kitsap Great Give would not be possible without the generous support of our event sponsors. Together, these sponsors have donated over $164,000. Please shower all of these sponsors with your appreciation, your thanks, and your business. I'm going to put on my glasses and make sure that I'm reading so I don't forget anybody. Our largest sponsor and the event's presenting partner is the United Way of Kitsap County. Kitsap County Community Foundation is extremely thankful for United Way's sponsorship, partnership, and dedication to improving our community. The event's lead sponsors are the A.Y. Petter Family Fund and Sparky's Fund at the Kitsap Community Foundation, EOS Ranch, and the Suquamish Foundation. We are thankful for their deep support of the Great Give and our community. The next level of sponsors include the Kitsap Credit Union, Orchard Foods, Port Madison Enterprises, author Susan Wiggs, and a gift in Anne Guthrie's memory. We thank these sponsors for making a substantial donation to the event and doing what they can to make the event as successful as possible. Counted as supporters of the Kitsap Great Give are the Averill Park Fund, Tim Ryan Construction. Finally, the following organizations sponsored prizes that are going to be given away during the event: Debbie McCumber, BNY Mellon Wealth Management, the Point Casino and Hotel, and the Kitsap Community Foundation Board of Directors. Without all of these supporters and prize sponsors, the Great Give would not achieve its goals. Without the major assistance of the event's media sponsors, the Great Give could not possibly succeed. We're deeply grateful to Sound Publishing Group of Papers, the Kitsap Sun, West Sound Magazine, Mattress Ranch, and Bremerton Kitsap Access Television. The Kitsap Community Foundation and the 350 and more nonprofits taking part of the Kitsap Great Give deeply appreciate these generous sponsors' support. Please shower them again with your thanks and your appreciation, as we do as well. Thank you.
Concern for Animals has been serving the pets of Thurston, Mason, and Lewis County through our many programs since 1980. Founded with the mission to help those that cannot help themselves, we've sought to address the needs of struggling pet owners in the community through the establishment of a weekly pet food bank, a voucher program that helps with veterinary costs, trap, neuter, and release programs to address feral cat colonies, and so much more. Each year, we help hundreds of owners throughout Thurston, Mason, and Lewis County, providing assistance that allows pets to stay with the families that love them. Our goal is to continue providing for the needs of struggling pet owners, expanding and adapting our programs as those needs evolve. But we need your help. CFA works hard to secure funding for our programs through grants given by generous donor foundations, organizations, and local tribes. But the foundation of the operation depends on donations from animal welfare advocates in the community, like you. When you donate to Concern for Animals, you support initiatives that help low-income pet owners, senior pet owners, and pet owners facing domestic violence or homelessness. When you donate to CFA, you stand up for animals that have no voice of their own. So consider donating today. It might just help an animal that you meet tomorrow.
I never realized I would ever be diagnosed with cancer. Said we would love to help you in any way we can. There were no questions about what's the criteria. There were no questions about your income. It was just, how can we help you? Strangers who take you in and just embrace the path you're on.
Here at Navy Marine Corps Relief Society, we understand the challenges of military life, from frequent deployments, family separations, to having to move every 2 to 3 years. Sometimes our service members just need a little help when life happens. The car broke down. Maybe you need emergency leave for a loved one who's fallen ill. Or maybe your spouse lost a job and there's just not enough income to meet basic living expenses. Navy Marine Corps Relief Society is here with a range of programs and services to meet your needs. We have interest-free loans and grants, financial education, quick assist loans up to $500 for our active duty sailors and Marines, our rapid response loan up to $1,500 to cover expenses from COVID impacts like having to homeschool, budget for baby classes, scholarships for spouses and children of our active duty and retired sailors and Marines. And in some areas, we have a visiting nurse program to help you with medical education in your home. Navy Marine Corps Relief Society is here to help you meet your needs. For more information and for eligibility requirements, please visit us at nmcrs.org.